It's me, Rafa.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Verti here, and what if I told you that once you activate Rafa's arc knives, they will just never turn off? Look, this build is going to keep him in the action permanently. It's fast, it's deadly, and the only way out is death. Now look, if you like broken endgame builds and massive explosions, then make sure to drop a sub to the channel because I'm about to bring you a whole lot more Borderlands 4 content. So let's break it down. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping into the cranked Rafa build. Look, I really hope that Jason Statham is going to take this as a compliment and we're not going to have any legal troubles. Fingers crossed. All good. But let's jump into max roll. And what we're going to do is what we did the last time. We're going to look over the build and we're going to build it together so that when the game releases, you know how to be invulnerable multitude of ways. Look, for this one, we're going to go with arc knives, obviously. And you know arc knives, right? You're going to put down your weapons and you're going to get your knives out. You go into third person and you're going to start hack and slashing like you're out of a slasher movie. Now, the key augment for this build and what makes it possible is dead man walking right over here. And what this will do is it will not have a duration anymore, your action skill. It will have your life and your health pool to drain until you enter fight for your life. And that's how long your action skill is gonna last. So what we're gonna do? Obviously, we're gonna try to rig it that we're gonna have as big of a health pool as we can, as much life steal as we can, as much shield as we can, and we're gonna do more damage the longer we're in the action skill. That's the gist of it. We're gonna be absolutely OP. Now let's dive into how we're gonna do that. First of all, we're gonna take Expedite. Expedite is gonna give us extra move speed. On top of the overdrive move speed with 25% already, this should make us dart around like we're Speedy Gonzalez. This is going to be insanely beautiful. After that, we're going to get into the 10 points that are very, very important. The first 5 is in dial-in. This is going to allow our melees to have a crit chance, and until we don't crit, it keeps on stacking up, and then we crit. And why is that needed? Because this unlocks Saldar. Saldar is going to get us lifesteal off of melee critical hit. Look, if we can get our melee critical hit higher up so that it reliably procs, and if we can have some additional lifesteal with a good enough life pool, this should keep us invincible. And the only thing that we need to aim for is that we overheal the decay of our health pool. That will be the goal. Now, how are we going to do that? We want to make sure that we don't take any damage, so we're going to go over to Peace Breaker Cannons, because this one has a couple of beaut hidden in there. Now, the first one is another overdrive skill. Remember, we're always in our overdrive. And this one is Shield Barriest. And what this does is it improves our recharge rate and our regen delay. AKA, our shield is going to recharge quicker and faster. Sounds good, right? If the enemies are hitting the shield, they're not hitting your health. So the only thing that you need to out-heal is the decay from dead man walking, which should be doable. After that, we're going to go into See Ya. And See Ya is a kill skill that's going to recharge our shields based on our maximum health capacity. Now look, this is max health, not current health. So if we have a high enough health pool, as soon as we kill someone, instantly refreshes our shields or maybe even overshielding us if that's an option. This is going to, again, make sure that we don't take as much damage. And exactly with that, we got Resiliencia, which is an overdrive skill. And again, we're always in our overdrive. And this one is going to give us damage reduction because why take so much damage when you don't have to? Now look, after that, we're done with defensive. This is all we're going to pick up for the moment. And we're going to go back into arc knives and we're going to start stacking damage. The first thing we do is we're going to get to El Borracho. By the way, I fucking love these names. Brilliant. So we're going to go to El Borracho. And we're going to get some corrosive damage with the action skill. And it's doing more damage the longer we're in there. It's 1% for every second. If this ramps up to hundreds, thousands of seconds because we out-heal ourselves and hundreds of thousands of percents, this is going to be a one-shot build with some very, very, very high potential for insanely glitchy moment. This is going to be brilliant. After that, we're going into sustainable energy. It's another overdrive skill. We're going to get health regen based on how much overdrive is remaining. Now, the remaining of the overdrive is your health, right? So imagine if you keep yourself always on half and your original duration is 32 seconds. Make that 15 seconds for ease of calculation. This is going to give us 15% health regen, or almost 15% health regen. That's on top of lifesteal. We might be able to just float around forever in there. It sounds pretty OP. And then we're going to get cruel accrual. And this is essentially another skill damage where we get more damage the longer we're in our action skill. If this stacks with all the different kills, for example, like again, what we're going to take is, let's just jump into that, right? Galvanic Panic. We're going to take that and it's going to give us a skill of Storm Glider that does Acid Storm Glider every single time we perform a melee attack. Now, this is going to do more damage the longer we're in our action skill. This is going to do additional corrosive damage. We're going to do more corrosive damage the more we're in the action skill. This is crazy. It's off the hook. And then we're going to have 4 points left, and I'll tell you what, these 4 points is pretty optional. You can almost put it anywhere. The reason why I've taken Blowout is because I like the idea of that I'm marking someone and then it just changes into a corrosive projectile explosions. And the entire screen just blows up like... Now, I'll admit, what you could do is you could get the Midnight Oil instead and have your action skill the bonus corrosive damage the longer the skill have been active. This would feed into it very, very nicely, and it is very strong. If it ends up being that your damage is lacking and the enemies are keep on tanking you, this might be better. I'm just going to go with Blowout first because it sounds fun, but that's as simple as that. So look, this is it, 49 points spent. Just to recap again, we're going to be in our overdrive. We're going to have 50% move speed. We're going to have unlimited percentage of scaling on corrosive damage. We're going to have a near unlimited lifesteal if it's possible. And the only time the action skill ends is when we want to end it. AKA when everyone is dead and we need to move to another place. Then we're going to press Blade Storm and we're going to see ya out of there. This sounds amazing. So look, if you enjoy this one or if you're going to give it a go, let me know in the comments. Do you think that I'm misunderstanding something? Do you think that this is going to be the new broken build as soon as the game releases? Let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel because the YouTube algorithm needs to know that I am your new favorite content creator. And of course, as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace!